Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the top 5 ways that Donald Trump can win the 2024 election, including the 6 most competitive swing states. But before we get started, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment down in the comment section below and share this video with a friend. Thank you so much for watching. So this is the current 2024 battle map. And as we can see here, I already filled out all the blue and red states that are most likely 99% likely going to go for this candidate. So Donald Trump will be getting states like Florida and North Carolina, while Biden will be getting states such as Minnesota and Virginia in their column. So this puts Trump at 236 and Joe Biden at 225, leaving the 6 most competitive swing states up: Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. So what are the ways that Donald Trump could clinch this presidential race and become the 47th president of the United States? In this video, I'm going to analyze 5 different ways in a combination of these 6 states in which Donald Trump will reach 270 electoral votes and be able to clinch the presidency. Beginning with the first combination, it will be the states in which Donald Trump lost by the narrowest amount in the 2020 election: Georgia, Wisconsin, and Arizona. Just winning these 3 states will put him at 272, giving him the presidency. In 2020, Donald Trump lost Georgia by around 12,000 votes, lost Wisconsin by 20,000 votes, and lost Arizona by only 11,000 votes, the closest state in raw numbers. These states are extremely narrow flips for Joe Biden, and for Donald Trump to flip these 3 states narrowly will secure him the presidency. Looking at the polls in these 3 states, Donald Trump leads in Arizona by a solid 4.5%, leads Georgia at a solid 3.8%, and leads in Wisconsin by 1%, with a poll just coming out having him up by 2% in Marquette. But what if Donald Trump is not able to win Wisconsin or Arizona, but holds on to Georgia? That will put him at 251. If this scenario happens, all Donald Trump would need to do is win Pennsylvania, putting him at exactly 270 electoral votes. And Pennsylvania is a state where the polls are extremely narrow. Biden only has a 0.1 percentage lead because of this one Franklin and Marshall poll that had him up by 10, a clear outlier. But every other poll has it at a back and forth race, with Trump leading in most of the previous polls that have been released, and Joe Biden leading by 10 in the last one. In Pennsylvania, Joe Biden was able to win by around 1%, flipping a lot of key areas in the northeastern and suburbs around Philadelphia. But in 2024, this state will be very, very narrow, and Donald Trump flipping Pennsylvania and Georgia will secure him that 270 electoral vote threshold to get him reelected to the 47th president. But what if Donald Trump is not able to win any of these Rust Belt states? There is a scenario in which Donald Trump is able to win this election by winning every Sun Belt state and Nebraska second. If we add Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, and Nebraska second to Donald Trump's column, he will be at 269 electoral votes. And since the House of Representatives is controlled by Republicans, in which they control more states, not whoever controls the House as in seats. Whoever controls the House majority in more states will win the election, in such that Donald Trump and the Republicans control more states than Democrats do, giving Donald Trump this election if it were to go to the House of Representatives. Although this is unlikely due to the left-trending nature of Nebraska second, it is still possible, and Nevada is a key area, a key state where Trump can flip, only losing by 2.4%, and in which the polls have him up leading in every single one. This is definitely a state that Trump will look to flip, but Nebraska second will definitely be a challenge. So taking that into consideration, what if we look at a different scenario? A scenario in which Trump wins all 3 of the Rust Belt states, but loses all of the Sun Belt states. They will put him at 279 electoral votes. And a state we haven't looked at yet, Michigan, went to Joe Biden by a little over 2%, and a state, surprisingly, out of the 3 Rust Belt states, that Donald Trump leads by 3.2% on average, with the last poll having him up by 6%. But what if we look at this map a little differently? What if Donald Trump wins the states in which he is leading by the most? Right now, I will put on the screen the Trump's leads or Biden's leads in all of these 6 swing states, in which we will discover that the 3 largest leads that Donald Trump has, Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia, will put him over 277 electoral votes, securing the election and securing his bid for his presidency by flipping these 3 states in which the polls currently consider the most likely. Although I do not consider or agree that Michigan will go red while Wisconsin will go blue, it's pretty interesting to see that the polls suggest that this is the most likely outcome. And it's definitely possible that on election night, we will see something like this happening. Although I very much believe that, this is a much more likely scenario in which Donald Trump will still win the election at 272. So this was my first out of the 5 layouts that I considered, out of the 5 combinations. And this to me is the most likely combination in which Donald Trump can win the election. And this is the combination that is definitely the most likely. However, currently I do have Donald Trump picking up all these states while Biden holds on to Pennsylvania. Either way, this is going to be a very close election. And taking into account the most likely and easiest scenario for Trump to win the presidency in 2024, Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia all went to Biden by a combination of a little over 40,000 votes. So 40,000 votes carried Joe Biden ahead of Donald Trump and into the White House, despite him winning 4.5% nationally. And this is the reason why the national vote does not matter as much as the vote per state, because Joe Biden could win the popular vote by 4%. But if he loses Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia, he will not become president. And all of these other scenarios that I outlined are in which Donald Trump will most likely lose the popular vote, but still win the White House like he did in 2016 with this exact map right here. In 2016, he lost the popular vote by around 2%, but he was able to win all of the Rust Belt states, and Georgia and Arizona and Nebraska second. And looking at this scenario here, it is very important to consider the single district in Nebraska and how important that it may serve, because this right here, this one district can either put Donald Trump in the White House or put Joe Biden in the White House. So it's very important that, this district is analyzed more. And currently, there isn't too much polling going on. It did get redistricted to become a little more favorable to Republicans. But still, Democrats, I think Joe Biden is definitely more favorable to win in Nebraska second. So Donald Trump either number 1 has to put more energy and effort into Nebraska second, or try to focus on one of these Rust Belt states in order to pad his margin, to pad his 270 vote, such as picking off Wisconsin. At that point, he won't need Nevada, as we explored in that previous map. But this is the current state of the race, and we will continue to analyze these important 6 states and how the polls definitely shape them to be. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. Check out my other content in my channel, and thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next one.